Hey Leo, welcome to your February 2018 tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for all of your continued support. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, subscribes, those of you that have donated. It really means a lot. So let's see what the month ahead has in store for you. So I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So as many of you know by now, I am a Leo rising, so this is relevant for me as well in some way, shape or form. I said I would do things differently this year and I intend to stay true to my word. I started with the yearly videos, which is something I haven't done up until now. I've got a new format and a new place to do all of this from, and this is the format that we're going to go with. So I'm really excited about this because it's been given some really great results. Let's see what the month of February has in store for you. Okay, your actions and your interactions with the world at large. You have the Ace of Cups. What a beautiful card to start the month with. So the Ace of Cups is all to do with wish fulfillment. It's all to do, it actually represents true love. It represents love in the purest form. It represents being in love. It represents being loved, loving someone else. The Ace of Cups gives you the ability to really fall in love with life. In this position, when it talks about your actions, this is about you viewing life through the lens of love. Like literally, it's just about you falling in love with life and saying, do you know what, life has so much to offer me and I have so much to offer the world. This is like you tapping into the greatest well of passion and vibrancy and love and life and light as well that you have to start really living life on your own terms, but from a place, not from a place of control, but from a place of complete surrender to life and to the process of life. I mean, I'm getting really emotive about this because, you know, your actions and your interactions symbolised by the lightning, you know, electricity, doing things and all the rest of it. And action, you know, and it's like your actions are blessed because the Ace of Cups, like I said, is wish fulfillment. It's the ability to ask for something and to have that total and utter belief and trust that the universe will deliver exactly what it is that you ask for, and it will take you on this amazing journey to get from that point. So from the point of the conception, that's the other thing that this represents as well. For some of you, Leos, if you are looking to get pregnant, this is the month that it will take place. This is the month, you know, where you will be having that next baby or that first baby for some of you. You know, this is, like I said, it's that moment of conception of I want, I need, I choose to have, and you verbalise it and it ripples out through the universe and then comes reverbing right back at you. And what's going to carry that wish out into the universe and bring it back to you in a manifest way is this ability to just be in love with everything and everyone. And it sounds really gushy, and it's like, how do you do that on a practical level? On a practical level, this is about your actions being innately divine. You know, and what do I mean by that? To bring it down to practicality, this is about loving what you do and loving the people that you do it with. You know, you might not necessarily like all of your colleagues at work, but if you love your work, put that into it. Make sure, make sure that every action you take, every step that you take, you are in love with, that you do it in conscious thought and love and respect and gratitude for even just having life and being able to make the decisions and the choices that you do every day, because that is going to expand and open up to a great month. It really, really will. So yeah, what a way to start. So next we have your money and your materials. Okay. The Star. Wow. I mean, it goes from good to better. Now the Star represents hope, it represents optimism, it represents love. It's actually ruled by the sign of Aquarius. And the Star talks about a glimpse at the brightest future that you can have. It represents a glimpse at the hopes that you have, and the hopes that and the achievement of the hopes that you have. Now the Star card is also, you see this lady, she's completely naked and she's pouring out water, one onto the land and one into a pool of water. She's got her foot on the pool of water. That talks about your subconscious. It talks about the urges and the dreams and the visions and the wants and the needs and the desires that you have that are below the surface. And it talks about the fact that she's naked means that she has trust. She has trust not only that these things that she's pouring out into the world, she has trust that what she pours onto the land will become manifest. That's her actions. She has trust that the water that she pours into the subconscious is going to yield results. Now the really interesting and really exciting thing about this is the Star card is Aquarius, so it's the water bearer. So she's pouring the water. What is the water? The water is the emotions. It's the emotional energy. She's pouring the emotional energy onto the land, which means that she can create things and create abundance. She's pouring into the subconscious, which means she's delving into her own creativity to bring up ideas that will support and generate her ability to create wealth. In your actions, in your interactions with the world at large, you have the Ace of Cups. That's the entire power of water there at your complete disposal. Get in love with life. Get in love with yourself. Get in love with making things the way that you want them and trusting. That's one of the biggest taglines for the card, the Star card, is trust. Because it represents the sign of Aquarius, the friend of the zodiac. The Star card tells me that this month, if you want a promotion, you go for it. The Star card in this position tells me that if you want a new home, start looking this month. And don't even think about how you're going to get the money to move and blah, blah, blah. Make the decision to move and the universe will step in. Find the place that you want to be in and the rest will just make its way to you. What an absolutely amazing affirmation, through the cards, that your wishes, your wants and your desires are all supported, and all you have to do is have enough faith and belief that they will come through. Okay. In your communication for the month of February, this is talking, texting, emailing and all of that jazz. Ooh, okay, so you got the Five of Swords. Not a great card. You know me by now, guys. I never bullshit you. I just tell you exactly what I see. The Five of Swords talks about fraught communication. It talks about you having words with people. Now, the good thing about this card is its experience. Its experience can remind you to check who you really are. Why do I say that? So you've got one person walking away here, you've got this person with the two swords and he's smiling. I say, is it really worth winning the battle just for the sake of being able to say that you won, but compromising the war for your soul? What do I mean by that? Because that's quite a big statement. I guess what I mean is, if you're the sort of person that never swears, and you get into an argument and just to shut that person up or to say that you won the argument, you start effing and blinding. You've compromised who you truly are at a soul level just for the sake of being able to say you won an argument. Is it really worth that? I don't think it is. I don't think it ever is. I swear like a trooper, and I'll drop the F-bomb, the C-bomb, the all bombs left, right and centre. As you guys know, I've got a potty mouth. So it's not really a good example for me personally, but what I mean is, don't let an argument or a heated discussion make you behave in a way that isn't true to who you are, just for the sake of being able to say, ha, I won, I shot your opinion down. It's not about that. Sometimes it's better just to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to agree to disagree, or I'm going to say, you know what, I'm bowing out gracefully because this isn't for me. So watch your communication this month and don't compromise who you are just for the sake of winning a battle of wills. Okay, and then finally, your heart and your hearth. This is your love sector. And you've got the Five of Cups. Well, I mean, it starts off great. It's got some really great points to the month, but then it's got some that are quite difficult. The Five of Cups represents mourning. It represents mourning a loss. It represents being upset and hurt by something that has ended or something that has left your life. Now, it may well be that in the month of February you have some falling outs. Interesting, because we've got a lunar eclipse taking place, and I wonder, although that's at, I think it's like the 31st of January, you know, it's on the border of February, and I wonder if it's got something to do with that, because lunar eclipses tend to wrap things up. And if you're having these kind of conversations, or a specific conversation of a difficult nature, and deciding that something or someone is going to leave your life, this is you going through the process of being able to say, okay, you know what, I have to truly and genuinely let that go now to be able to move forward. The Five of Cups also reminds us that, you know, while these cups are spilled and they've left their contents, there's always something left. The two cups that are upstanding remind us that there's always something else. You know, it's okay to mourn, it's okay to be sad for something ending or somebody leaving your life, but don't unpack there. Don't let a bad day become a bad week, become a bad month, become a bad year. You know, cut your losses at that point and allow it to leave. The interesting thing is, you've got two fives here. And the number 5 is all to do with change. It's all to do with fast change as well. It's all to do with a change of residence. It's sex, drugs, rock and roll. In the zodiac, it represents your creativity, your children, something that you've given a lot of time and joy and effort to. So maybe that's something to think about. And these two cards in conjunction, your emotional relationships and your communications, it's talking very much, you know, I would say, if this isn't an argument with a family member or, you know, somebody that knows how to press your buttons, don't give them that ability. Don't give them that. That is your choice. That is your, that's your power in this situation. The Five of Swords and so your money and your communications means that you have hope at rectifying something that's gone awry. Certainly within the last 5 months, you've got, you know, whether somebody's lent you money or you've lent them money and it hasn't been returned in the time frame that was expected, you can move past that now. Whichever side of that fence you were on, this is something that can be rectified. You know, because the Star card, it just makes everything lighter and brighter, and it strengthens anything that is weak. Your money and your actions, those are blessed. You know, career looks good, you know, your actions, your zest for life, all of that is good. I kind of almost feel a little bit like somebody, you know, in your, whether it's a partner, whether it's a family member, whether it's a friend, is almost trying to dampen your month. Like, you're so bright and vigorous this month, it's like, oh wow, okay, you're full of beans. Well, why are you full of beans? Well, because I am. You know, fuck that, whatever. Don't let somebody dim your shine this month. That's really, really important, no matter what happens in your personal relationships. And finally, your key to the month is the Devil. This is really interesting. I'm going back to what I said about, you know, it's okay to have a bad day, it's okay to have a bad week, it's okay to have a bad month, it's not okay to have a bad year. Why do I say that? And really, if you want to take it right back to the beginning, don't have a bad day. This is about where you decide to go with the things that hurt, and whether you decide to unpack and stay there. Because the Devil card represents the things that we consciously tie ourselves to that eventually become unconscious habits and addictions that no longer serve us. These become things that hold us back and hold us down. If you can see that a specific relationship and the way that you communicate with each other has held you back or is holding you back, it may well be that in the month of February you decide to knock that on the head. What I can see here is that for the most part you are trying to swim and fly, and you've got something or someone that is trying to literally, I mean, gosh, if you look at that, literally that's the Devil holding them down. And what they've forgotten, these people that are under all of this, is that they actually put themselves underneath this. It was their choice to put themselves underneath it, which means it also needs to be their choice to get back out from under it. Okay, Leos, I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself, and I hope you have an amazing month. Keep me posted on how this pans out for all of you, because I'm really, really intrigued. I got a feeling of how it's going to go for me, but we shall see. Thank you so much for your likes, shares, subscribes. Thank you so much for all of your donations, for those of you that have. It's truly appreciated. All links in the description box below. Have a great month. Take care.